Hi beautiful souls, it's Sami here, and I just wanted to do a video in regards to mental health. I know people that have followed me, you've seen that I've shared quite a lot in the past about mental health challenges, and I've been pulled, I guess, or inspired to do this video because I am getting to the point where I'm a little bit sick and tired of seeing people talk about these type of mental health issues as if they know what they're talking about, and for the most part they genuinely want to help people. But a lot of these people that I see, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there who have been struggling with mental health and kind of testify, and they come from a place of experience, and I think that holds a lot of, I don't know, like trust and validity and authenticity when someone is trying to do their best to come from a place of service and help and support when themselves have been through what maybe someone else is watching this have been through. So but yeah, it got to the point where I was watching these people, and some of these people haven't been through any trauma, or they've not been, through abuse as a child, or they've not struggled with mental health for decades in terms of like complex PTSD, dissociation identity disorder, women with Pmdd, all these things that, there's a lot of people that struggle with, and I'm doing this video from a place of I struggle with all of those. I have done most of my life, and I felt like I'm at a place now where, yeah, I still struggle. I still have those times of the month when I just don't want to be here anymore, and I struggle with the emotional dysregulation, the night terrors, the intrusive thoughts, the flashbacks, the triggers. It is just, and I'm also doing my best to run my own business and look after two beautiful daughters that are obviously bringing so much love and light, but they're also triggering aspects of my inner child that was that age, that abuse was happening to me at that age. So there's a lot going on, and I thought to myself, I'm just gonna be honest and do a video. I don't like, my intention behind this video is to, if just one person watches this and resonates with what I'm saying, with what I'm saying, and they can feel connected in some way, or feel less alone, then that I'm happy that, I feel like I've added that, I've saved in that way, to help humanity, or help raise the consciousness of the planet, help healing. But yeah, so, I've struggled with, obviously I'm diagnosed with complex PTSD, so that's complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's, a lot of people hear it when, it's quite common in sort of people that have been in the military or the army or war veterans. They've spent years, seeing bombs and everything and guns going off, and they come home, and even though they're now safe, their brain is hardwired to heightened levels of stress, and they're always looking, they're very hyper vigilant, and they're always on edge. And even when they're sleeping, when you want to get rest, your mind is still pushing all this up to the front of your mind, even when you're sleeping, to try and process it all. But it doesn't always, it's not always, it doesn't help. It really doesn't help. I've been doing my best to cultivate a lot of self-compassion. Again, that's been very hard, because when you've been through a lot of abuse as a child, you grow up with a very strong belief that you're not good enough, and you'll never amount to anything, and you're a piece of poop on someone's shoe, and all of this negative, intrusive sort of thoughts as well. But in terms of the complex PTSD, so a war person, they'll come home, and they'll hear the toaster will go off, or the smoothie maker, or the kids will shout dead loud, and straight away that person's flung back into that trauma, and the body is acting as if it is back in that place of sort of like bombs and bullets and everything going off. And it's the same when it comes to people that have been severely abused as children. I've had to learn all of this to help understand myself, because I know there's a part of me that through my journey, and when I am ready, I will actively help people. And I suppose what I'm doing now is probably helping people, because some people may watch this and really need to see this or hear it. I know I did when I was young. I'd love to have just seen someone be so real and authentic and not for any gain. You know, it's just, there's a part of me that has carried this for so long, and it's very debilitating, and you feel so alone and so isolated, and then there's a lot of shame, and then there's a lot of guilt, and just a shit show of not nice emotions that you're trying to deal with whilst also keep getting on top of life. And then obviously you've got everything else from externally, from the news, from the media, you know, it's quite a lot. But I'm here just sharing this, just being me, and just saying, you know, you're not alone, it's okay. And there's a part of me that will be doing more videos when I get the time. It's quite challenging because obviously right now my little ones are so small and they require a lot of my attention, but when I have the time and I have the mental and emotional space, I like doing these videos because I know from the past when I used to do them, you know, the odd people would comment or message and just say, you know, thank you so much, that really did help me, or I've been through what you've been through, or I know someone who's struggling, and it's given me a little bit more insight into how I can be better, how I can be more of a support, a better friend, a better support, you know, have more empathy and compassion and understanding for that person. So yeah, with the complex PTSD of childhood abuse, that just manifests in just ridiculous amounts of ways. Like growing up, I didn't really like children, and it wasn't because I didn't like them. When I was around children, I was always very respectful, very polite. I didn't realise that every single child I saw, you can't avoid them, they're everywhere, like humans. It was a constant trigger for me, and I didn't realise that until later on. The same with, because my father is of Jamaican heritage, very dark skin. So when I grew up, any man that had very dark skin was a trigger. And again, it's understandable when, you know, you look at the abuse that I've been through. So it was, yeah, it's a lot. And even though it may have happened 20, 30 years ago, I'm still suffering more so now, it feels, especially since having my daughters as well, which are a massive trigger. Oh my goodness. So it's living with this. Don't get me wrong, I've got loads of like self-care tools, safety plans. I've got a lot, and I've built myself up a lot, because there's been times when I have been like this close to just taking my life and just being like, I can't do this anymore. And I'll probably do a video about things that help ease or help you ride the wave or go through the storm a little bit easier when you're being triggered, or you've got, you know, high level, like the complex PTSD symptoms, the dissociation, and also I'm currently in the process of being diagnosed with Pmdd, which is not great. It's basically like the worst shit show of PMS. Really, like, it doesn't even do it justice. I'm still learning a little bit more about that as well, because that's just come out in things like, okay, why is it around a week or around the time of my month, the intrusive thoughts and the intrusive thoughts of self-harming and suicide, it just switches on, like I'm a completely different person, and I go really low. But the minute when I come out of my period, out of my menstrual cycle, I can feel myself getting back up. I'm a bit more motivated, driven, I'm a little bit more confident, I feel more body positive. And yeah, it's so it's that on top of overlay. It's like an overlay of the PMDD on top of the complex PTSD and the DID, and then it's just like like a wheel, and you're not going anywhere, and one thing triggers the next, and the next one triggers the next, and you're just like, oh my god. Don't get me wrong, I've got an amazing support, I've got a therapist, I've got all of this, but I know there's people out there that are struggling. I know I can feel it as well. I know it's, because the thing is, what's hard as well, when you've been through what I've been through, you grow up and you think it's just you. You feel like it's just you, you're on your own. And from, you know, what I'm seeing, and a lot of people that are coming forward, and obviously there's pros and cons with social media and all of that, but there's a lot more people sharing their struggles with mental health, and you know, it just helps people to feel more connected. People don't want to always see the glam and the glitz and look how perfect my life is, because we can't connect to that. Majority of people cannot connect to that. They like it, they may wish and think, oh, that's lovely, I'd love to live like that, or it may be a great distraction, but you know, subconsciously it's not really helping, you know what I mean? If not, well, with me anyway, personally, it makes me feel worse if I see people's lives like what. So I sometimes can't go on social media for that long. But yeah, it's tough. It really is tough. And I'm doing this as maybe like a little bit of a record as well to keep myself going. Like a little personal video journal, video diary. I don't even know, like diaries with Sami, video diary. I don't know. I know obviously I'm probably going to share this on my Deeply Guided channel, because that is all about spiritual growth, inner child healing, all of that stuff. So, but you're not alone. I just want to do my best with the time I have to help people realise that, and to offer compassion, empathy, understanding, virtual hugs, some tips, advice, help from a person that is actually suffering with these mental health conditions, but is also learning in the process to ride the waves better. I call them waves or storms, and when they come, they are hard, and they, you know, we've got to put those tools in place that will help us until we get out into the clear, and we're like, whew. You know, and that can be, it can be multiple times of a month, it can be multiple times in the week, it can even be multiple times in the day. So it's yeah, it's just having a lot of tools in your arsenal that's just going to help you. I think we like using the word fight or battle, because it's almost like you're going against something, but sometimes that word and sort of feels right, because if that's what it feels like. But yeah, let me know if anyone else is struggling with mental health, anxiety, depression. I obviously have postnatal depression as well, but I use psychedelics to lift that, which is great. Again, I can do videos and stories on that. And then obviously complex PTSD, DID, and the Pmdd. So it's like, oh, so yeah, let me know if you've liked this video. Comment below if you've got any, you know, anything that's worked for you with your mental health, journaling, breathing, whatever, because it's not just me reading it, there's other people that will be reading it, and I'm aware of that people may watch my video or look at my content, but they may not like or comment, but it's helping them, and that's all that matters, is if it's helping someone. So yes, I will leave it there, sending so much love and light to everyone. Stay blessed, stay strong, and know that you are not alone. Bye.